Right here we have the infamous Superfly, Scatter Black, the Black Ace.
And all the shit that came with it.
Hey, the wonders in the
universe.
bed.
Peace, family.
What's up?
What's good?
Well, I be on the internet a lot. I be around a lot of people and stuff like that, and I just be hearing like different things and stuff about there's a cloud over Mount Vernon, over the 9. They can't get signed because of the Young Guns this, the Young Guns that, and a lot of people blame you and your brother and everybody else that followed the Young God trend. Sorry, YG's trend to labeling it as being violent and just disruptive, and anything that y'all put your hands on, y'all were just going to tear it apart like y'all were animals. So I want to set the record straight that it was far from that. That is not what's going on. There's two sides to every story, and there's a reaction for every action. Correct?
Well, I think everybody used the YG energy to their benefit when they wanted to. And then when they couldn't control it, it seemed threat. So for it to be us putting a shadow over Mount Vernon, that's not true. It's just that the brothers that were controlling the industry, like have peace and blessings. I have always, Puff, and a few other brothers, Eddie F, people that was doing production and stuff like that. Everybody was different. I don't know the energy of Puff, or some days you won't know the energy of Hev, or, but I know Hev was always loving and sincere, but at a point it came where maybe we was coming with too much energy, y'all won't listen, or we can't control y'all, and y'all gonna do what y'all want, and plus when you got a bunch of people who can fight, and girls love them and shit, that's competitive as well.
Right.
So, it ain't a... I don't see how they could be the YGs, because if you want to do something for anybody in Mount Vernon, if you don't want to mess with the YGs, that's fine, but other talent is in Mount Vernon. That don't mean surpass or bypass those other people because of something the YGs did or something you don't like about the YGs. Because at one point, the whole Vernon was YGs. YGs wasn't just started as like a gang or a crew. YGs really was a security force in defense for Mount Vernon, and that came about because there was a time in the 80s, in the late 80s, the brothers from Edenwall and the Valley would come up to the south side.
The Decepticons or something like that?
Whether it was Little Wolf, Big Wolf, a couple other dudes, Spook or whatever, Preem, Tie Stick, they still would come up there, and they was really eating on the niggas in the south side.
Right.
They was eating, robbing them and all that shit, and it was like, listen, in order for us to go, well, I was going anywhere. I ain't need, to do that. But a lot of niggas in the Vernon, I figured the Vernon need to stand up, because listen, when we move around and start going to places like the Red Zone and the tunnels and everywhere, and people are looking at y'all like food, I hope they don't get it twisted like I'm food or lunch meat like the rest of them, and I ain't want to get tied up with that. So, it came a time where we was like, listen, we need to cease all that. And we all band together. And like I said, people use that YG energy to their benefit, because the whole A5 was with YGs, A for 5th was with YGs, 7 for 3rd was with YGs, 8 for 3rd was with YGs, 3rd and 3rd, 4th, everybody was together when they came at that time, because when they killed Mikey D, Pop, you had Pop, Benny, I love them dudes, Red Dread, I love them niggas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had all them brothers down there. And it came a time when they killed Mikey D, the Vernon had enough, because they came through, robbed a few brothers, killed them. So everybody unified together, and it became a force.
Right.
So
who thought of the name the Young Guns?
What's crazy? I think my brother made that up, because we was watching the movies, Young Guns and all that, and it was funny how like Billy the Kid and all that shit. He thought the shit was humorous, running around, he would, gun ho and shit and laughing and all that. We like to have fun, but the YGs came about when we all, like I said, when we all got together, and it was cliques within cliques. You had A5, you had 7th, 3rd, you had 1st and 3rd, everybody was together, and when we brought the guns together, and matter of fact, it was definitely after the confrontation with the brothers in the Bronx. We met up at White Castles, and it was like a 30-gun standoff. And we was face to face, and it was, Supreme was up front. I think Wolf was with him. It was me and Tom, Todd Stick, my boy Vic, the rest of the day, he was with me.
Yeah, sleep in peace.
Yeah, and you know, we was talking, and we had the whole running behind us that everybody was armed and dangerous, and they had, I'm quite sure they was armed and dangerous too, and I'm glad no bullets went off because it'd been a massacre.
Right.
But that's what happened.
Right.
So, but every time we went out of town, the same 7th, 3rd, 8th, and 5th, everybody's YGs, everybody's YGs, whenever.
Everybody's a young
But
gun.
then, you know, when, like I said, they use the energy to, it goes from the streets to the industry, same thing.
Right. What started you to do music? Like, what made your interest into wanting to write music and do music?
Well, I was doing music before the YGs. I used to go in the basement with Pete. He used to do like mix a couple of beats and used to spin on them. And you know, Corey was my man. Me and Corey used to be together, CL. So we used to go down in the basement. So I was doing that a long time ago. Actually, I used to hang around with Spunk and them too, Kid J and them. We used to go.
The Wild Bunch.
Yeah, we used to go to his house. I used to love being in his spot. We'd be in the basement or we'd be up in the attic. You know what I'm saying? He had it wasn't even no beat machines back then. He had Casios and all that. I used to play little joints up the Casios, and brothers used to spit a few bars. Shit was hard. I used to love it.
So
you know
wrote your own raps? Nobody ever wrote for you or anything like that?
I used to read the dictionary.
Right. Did you ghostwrite for anyone?
Nah, I ain't ghostwrite for no one.
Nobody.
I mean, when the YGs, when the YGs was trying to do like a YG project, actually, YGs was trying to do a project, we was trying to use each other vocally within there. So yeah, I had to help a few, you know, brothers in there, but that ain't nothing.
What about the one that's in the bed verse?
I mean, that's everybody doing that. That's what you want. We don't even need to get into all that. It's just we talk lyrically, brothers was just helping each other, man.
You're very lyrically. That's
So,
why I said something about that. I listened to the music. What it said, the house is getting hot. This troop take a little walk around the block, and then it was like what is it? A 40 of Saint Eyes or maybe OE. Big my dick cock diesel. When it's time to fuck a bitch. All that.
Hey man, that was back then. You know, the era changed.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, like a lot of profanity and all that stuff back then. I really wasn't on it like that because I know I was better lyrically than that.
Right, and then you got the Ghetto Celebs. That was a deep song right there.
That was dope. It should have been. I wish it was mastered properly, and I wish they would have did the video on that instead of the street nigga joint, because I knew that would have had a better impact than anything.
Would you want to shoot that video?
I mean, it's way past the time.
It's never past the time.
I mean,
we could revamp that.
I ain't living in the past no more.
Okay, cool.
I'm trying to live in the here now.
All right.
I'm somewhere else.
Got you. How did you feel when Trouble T. Troy passed away? Heavy D's dancer?
I mean, that was a big effect. I wasn't that close to Troy. I knew him for the short period of time that I knew him. Yeah, it still bothered me because, matter of fact, I can't even say that because my grandmother, your great grandmother, pause me. You got to pause that. Or you have to fix that in the editing or something.
We're gonna chop.
But we're gonna chop that.
All right.
Ask that again.
I am. Okay. Let me know when.
Troy.
Good.
How did you feel when Troy passed away, Heavy D's dancer?
Okay, like I was saying before, I met Hev when I was like 15.
Okay.
And then I met Hev and I met D Nice. D Nice used to be down the hill with him too. Hev, 15. Well, I knew Pete. And Troy, I kind of met my grandmother and Troy's one of his, I think it was his mother or his grandmother. They used to go to church together.
Okay.
Miss Dickinson or Dixon or something like that. Right? That's his name, Troy Dixon.
Right.
Yeah. And but for the short period of time that I knew him, I've been around him. Yeah, it affected everybody. It affected the whole running. You know, but I didn't know him that close to, you know, to really be affected
by it.
Like Pete or, you know, like Hev himself and, you know, the brothers that was up close around.
Right. What was your relationship like with K's Viddy Idol, if there was, Spunk Bigger, Pete Rock, C.O. Smooth?
Well, I spoke about Spunk. You know, I love Spunk. You know, Spunk.
I think he's the best producer in Mount Vernon.
Well, he's definitely the best producer in Mount Vernon. Pete ain't even there no more, so Pete can't competing at in Mount Vernon, but Spunk is definitely the best producer in Mount Vernon.
Yeah, big up to Spunk Bigger, and also to his sons. From my understanding, they just signed a deal with Atlantic from a production deal, so I'm super happy about that.
But Case used to be a YG. Case ran with the YGs.
Oh, okay,
The
really?
Case is a YG.
I heard he has a company, I think, called Push Play or something like that, a label.
I didn't hear. I haven't spoken to him in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Like sometimes we'll just say what's up to each other on Messenger, but I'm gonna have to try to get his math because I was trying to connect with him. He came to Houston, and I was trying to get down there to see him, but the communication was off.
Right. What about your relationship with Eddie F?
Haven't spoken to him in a long time. You know, Eddie is well loved. Love Eddie to death. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's definitely good.
How did you get a placement on the Minister Society soundtrack? The song is called Death Becomes You. How did you get that placement?
Pete and Corey.
Oh, okay. That song was
They
like
thought it'd be
super
good
fire.
because, you know, at the time they was trying to bring us out. So we come out on the soundtrack, you know, the people will have a little idea before we
Of
even
who
get
you
out
are.
there. So that was definitely good.
Marketing and promotion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was on point.
Do you remember your first radio interview or your first performance ever?
I'm not sure about the interview. The performance, I could be wrong, but I do know I did the Ralph McDaniels joint. We did that joint, Trafalgar Square. I'm not really sure on the first joints, but we did a few of them.
Okay. How's your relationship with Jay-Z and Diddy?
Don't know whole up close personal like my brother. So
Okay.
that's the relationship with him and my brother. But with Diddy, I haven't seen him. Last time I seen Diddy was in Houston. That was a long time ago. But you know, we never really got to sit down and talk after all the shit that happened between him and my brother or whatever. So, you know, I'm quite sure if he see me, he gonna give me some minutes. Yo, you know, I need to talk to you. He gonna give me a couple of minutes.
Right. Well, whatever happened with the $25 million lawsuit that was filed against Diddy by your brother? Do you know anything about
I
that?
gotta take the fifth on that.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
All right. What happened with Uptown Records? Everybody says that the YGs took Uptown Records and just tore it apart, destroyed a major label.
What? We wasn't on Uptown.
Okay.
What the YGs got to do with Uptown Records? Head was one of Uptown Records.
Okay. And
I mean, he had a few brothers from the Vernon as A&Rs, but I don't think the YGs. How many YGs was in there? The only one he had was Tom. He had D Nice on payroll. He had other brothers on payroll. Joe Black, Dio. So was it the Vernon that tore up Uptown, or was it the YGs? The YGs
Right.
wasn't in there.
And also, there was a DVD that came out before. It was called The Thug Workout. Whose idea was that? Do you know anything about that DVD?
I was locked up, but I knew prior to coming out, my brother had an idea. He said he was going to take it to Darren and War. You know, that was his idea. Actually, he went to Husky first about it.
Okay.
You know, he wanted to do the Thug Workout because, you know, we was on it like that out in the parks. We was come
Push
out
up,
there
pull
doing
up, and
push-up,
dip
pull-ups.
doers.
Everybody knew that. We was
Right.
doing pull-ups, push-up, dips, everything. You know what I mean? And I know they got old pictures of niggas. Yeah, I-Born coming out there. He was nice on the bar. My whole clique was nice on the bar. You know, Five came out, got on the bar. You know, everybody was on the bar. But that came from my brother, and somehow he got froze out of whatever happened. It
Whatever
went
proceeds.
from one
and
hand
stuff
in
that
this
we
hand,
made
and the
for
next
it.
thing you know, people froze him out of what he created.
Right. That's why I say paperwork is a must from then and now as well. I know you had to do some time before. Will you feel comfortable elaborating on why you had to go
No,
to
I
jail?
mean, well, we was hot. You know? Homie shot them cops, that was it. Police came anyway, everybody, so.
With
we went
dead
to
eye,
jail.
right?
Yeah, he shot, you know, when he shot the cops, that burnt the niggas down on first and third.
Right, but didn't you go to jail for selling guns? It was a setup
Definitely
or
illegal,
something like
of course, it was entrapment, but they ain't gonna look at it that way because I fell victim to the cheap ass little money, so.
Because it was a family member that put you on to the
Take the fifth on that. We ain't gonna get into all that.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's my job to
Yeah.
bring it out.
Of course.
What was the beef between New Rochelle, Yonkers, White Plains with football games and basketball games?
That's always a rival.
But it's always right. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
It's always a rival. So it wasn't just the young guns doing it. It was like everybody doing it. Everybody doing what.
That rivalry was there before YGs even existed.
Exactly.
I mean, Tom McKinney was Tom McKinney way before the YGs.
Exactly.
Whole Vernon was YGs. Shit. When they wanted to be, you know, they only took their shirt off because they got, you know, started brown nosing. That's all it is.
Right. How long has it been since you actually spit? Like you really sat down and wrote a song or thought about writing a song?
To be honest, I'm gonna keep it 100. I love reading. I love playing with words and stuff. But when I seen how, you know, people you grew up with, people you was trying to do business with, and trust me, I was trying to, you know, get a $1.3 million deal, but after a while you can't get it when you got other forces around you and vices making sure, yo, we can't let these niggas eat. I can't let them, if they can eat, then we're going to always see them, and then guess what? They're going to bring goon squads. We can't control that. So you already know what goes on with that.
Right.
So it made me like, you know, I don't need that because I knew how to get money elsewhere. You know, I was going to get money elsewhere. It wasn't like the way I wanted it with that, which, you know, we could have played with it and alleviated a lot of stress. And it wasn't just about the YGs. We definitely was trying to do a Mount Vernon production. I was always thinking bigger than the YGs.
Bigger than the YGs, right.
The whole Vernon, like, you can have the Hilltop over there. They got them. It was just like all the other places that was putting groups together.
Right.
We was already thinking like that. Like I was definitely thinking like that. You know, you got Jews over there do a collabo. Then you have a Vernon big, like, you know, CD. And Mount Vernon got so much talent.
Right. Right.
So.
Would you like to elaborate on what happened with the altercation allegedly between your brother Ali and Diddy's bodyguard?
I'm gonna take the fifth because the only thing I'm gonna say about that is it really need to, like, Puff really need to sit down, him and Paul, and they really need to, you know, they need to compensate for that. They need to make some type of compensation for that. I don't know how, I don't know the details or the approach or what energy was transferred to make it go to that level. So I really can't really speak on it because I was already in Houston.
Right.
So
you were already back down in Texas.
I was in Houston. I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
You know, so.
When you got out of jail, what did you do with your life? How did you turn your life around once you came home?
Well, when I came home, I knew for one, I seen some people doing the same thing. I seen a lot of niggas stuck in the same place. I ain't want to be there. I ain't want that same energy. And before I even came out, I was sitting there thinking like, damn, what was all this shit about? Like, what did you get out of it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what benefit did you get? You know, did all that stupid shit and you still stuck, or you don't even have what you even had when you was out there. So now you start from scratch. So when I came out, I wasn't trying to be stuck. You know what I'm saying? I teamed up with a few people when I was locked down. They plugged me in with some union work. You know, I got in the union books and all that. I was eating. So, So I didn't care about niggas. My credit was up. My money was up.
You had a car.
My son Mom's, her money was up. So we was a gangster team. If y'all want to say that.
Speaking about you and your son's mom, I heard about a little incident on 241st Street where y'all was stomping somebody out and she was holding donuts.
You know.
That's a power team for real, because I swear that's me and my husband. You
definitely,
see him,
we got to go home together.
That's right. Ain't no go get the car, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is all I'm gonna say about something like that. Black men, we could be disrespectful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, my son Mars was attractive, and she wanted to go get some donuts. So I went out. Let's go. We're gonna go get donuts. Pull up 241st. We going in the donut shop. He's holding the door. He got two dudes with him. He's holding the door open, and he's, he's sizing up. He's making all that,
gestures
uncomfortable gestures, like he ready to fall all over right there. So I'm like, wait a minute, son. Fuck
You know who the
you.
fuck I am?
Ain't it fuck who I am, nigga? What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? I mean, I know who I am,
Right.
but you just triggered me just now. So you did something that can't be undone. So we got to go there. So it went there.